Hi everyone, meet again with movie recap here. This woman called Elaine, she is a temptress who can damage anyone's romantic relationship even if she willing to make love to the owner of the apartment in lieu of a rent. And this man named Jay is a novelist. His work is very popular with many people because of his very romantic love story poem with his wife. They are considered the perfect couple and an inspiration to young couples. But their relationship is not as erotic as Jay writes in his novels. His wife named Kiki sometimes makes Jay very upset because of her lazy and orderly nature. Even for homework and picking up children, it was Jay who had to do it. Of course, Jay can only harbor his frustration because he doesn't want to quarrel with his wife. He can only be patient and resigned to maintain the image of their relationship that looks perfect in the eyes of his fans. In addition to his work as a writer, Jay also has an apartment business inherited from his parents. Incidentally, Jay also lives in the apartment. One day, a woman named Elaine came and wanted to rent one of the rooms in his apartment. After looking around, Elaine left and accidentally left her shopping bag containing underwear. Jay takes the item home and starts fantasizing wildly about Elaine. Suddenly, Elaine called Jay and asked for a discount on her apartment rental. Because of kindness, Jay agreed and asked Elaine to immediately sign a contract. Long story short, Elaine finally lived in the apartment. One night, Elaine transferred a payment that is only half the price of the rent. She reasoned that the amount of her account is not enough. Then she asked Jay to come to her room to take the remaining payment in cash. Then Jay went to Elaine's room and lied to his wife. There, he was greeted by Elaine who was already dressed sexy. Very spoiled, Elaine reasoned unable to pay the rest of the money. She then offered to split the cost of renting together with Jay. That's why Jay can at any time come to stay in her room. At first, Jay was hesitant, but Elaine's spoiled seduction made him tempted and finally, he could not bear to hold back his lust and they made love that night. Then the next day, Jay always lied to his wife to go out to work out at the gym. In fact, he went to Elaine's room to make love. Until one day, Elaine asked Jay to get free rent apartment that month. She promised to pay for everything next month. Of course, Jay refused because he had given a lot of discount to Elaine. But to convince Jay, Elaine wrote an affidavit that Jay could do anything to her at will and still pay the rent every month. Instantly, Jay was devastated and ready to accept the rent payment whenever Elaine could. They continued to make love and without Jay realizing, the affidavit written by Elaine fell under the bed. Long story short, Kiki began to feel suspicious about the behavior of Jay who often came home late, even that day he was at home in the morning. Since then, Kiki has finally always joined every Jay who wants to go to the gym. That leaves Jay with no other chance and reason to meet Elaine. For days, Jay can only use the time to throw the garbage to just have a short kiss with Elaine. And when he couldn't stand it, Jay finally made vacation plans for his wife. While he pretended he couldn't come because there was a sudden affair that couldn't be left behind.
Bye.
After Kiki left, Jay finally had the opportunity to make love with Elaine. Long story short, Jay's wife came home, and Jay was not satisfied and contacted Elaine to ask her to make love. But this time, Elaine has dared to put up tariff every Jay wants to make love with her. Of course, Jay balked and transferred his desire to his wife. But when they want to make love, Kiki refuses because her safety equipment is out of stock. Jay immediately went to divert his frustration to the gym. One day, Jay panicked because Elaine took away his child without his knowing. He rushed to find Elaine to make sure his son was okay. Luckily, Jay was on time and found them in the park. This time, Elaine seduces Jay and wants to borrow money in no small amount. Jay can only resign because Elaine threatened to tell them about their forbidden relationship. Elaine's behavior doesn't stop there. Elaine increasingly blackmails Jay and asks for money that is nominally greater than before. In fact, she threatened to spread their lovemaking videos if Jay didn't obey her wish. Elaine also reminded that if she suddenly dies, the video will be automatically uploaded to the internet. Jay, who feels confused, then counsels his friends who work as lawyers. They suggested that Jay take Elaine's life, but they also cautioned that it's hard to escape a murder case. But Jay didn't take his friends' advice seriously. Long story short, one night Elaine was suddenly found dead on the street. Police who came to investigate then suspected that Elaine fell from the top floor of her apartment. The police checked Elaine's apartment room and asked Jay to come to the police station for interrogation. At first, Jay said that his relationship with Elaine was only limited to tenants and apartment owners. However, he couldn't avoid it when the police showed the affidavit written by Elaine at that time. And CCTV footage showing the attitude of both is highly suspicious. Jay also admits that Elaine is his mistress, but Jay lied that Elaine had threatened suicide if he didn't divorce his wife. Then Jay cannot be avoided again when the police again reveals the fact that there is evidence of resistance at the crime scene and the body of Elaine. It means Elaine didn't do to suicide. Finally, Jay ran out excuses and claimed that he was the one who killed Elaine because of the annoyance of being constantly blackmailed. This case should have been finished with Jay's confession, but the homicide psychology detective named Eugene notices the strangeness in Jay's interrogation video. From his movement, Eugene assumed that Jay has lied. Although Jay has confessed, there is no real evidence that he was the one who pushed Elaine. Further investigation were carried out at Jay's apartment. The police find his wife's diary containing an outpouring of anger over Jay's affair and her plans for revenge on Elaine.
尔龙1号高层月租3万，哪有这么便宜的？凶宅呀！
The police then took Kiki to the office for questioning. Eugene then showed the diary and fiber clothes belonging to Kiki found at the crime scene. Eugene also added that Jay was not at the scene at the time of the incident. All this evidence and facts point to Kiki. Even after investigation, it turns out that Kiki had a story of mental illness and was often out of control. Eugene also concluded that it was Kiki who killed Elaine because he was angry after she found out about her husband's affair. But Kiki denies all the allegations and considers herself to have been framed. The police were confused and chose to release the two, but of course remain under surveillance. Long story short, when they set out to pick up their son, on the way, it turns out that Kiki drugged Jay and took him somewhere. After Jay realized it, Kiki immediately protested to Jay because he had trapped her so that she was chased by the police. Then Jay blamed Kiki because from the beginning deliberately hired Elaine to approach her own husband. So at Kiki's behest, Elaine is asked to record a video of her lovemaking with Jay. Later in the video, Kiki will use it to damage her husband's reputation. Why? Because Kiki is very hating Jay, who is so hypocritical, telling lies about their relationship over his novel work. But Elaine's greed escaped Kiki's calculation. Elaine used the video to blackmail Jay with more money than Kiki pays.
这个世界上哪有人像你这么虚伪的？
Then Kiki vented her anger by slapping Jay many times. Then Jay fought back and managed to break free. But with condition injured, Jay was again arrested and tied to a wood-cutting tool. Luckily, the police arrived on time and managed to save the life of Jay, while Kiki was immediately arrested by the police. At the end of the story, it is seen how Jay planned and executed neatly the death of Elaine. Jay wrote his wife's diary and made a fake mental illness medical report so the police believed that his wife was crazy. Jay then drugged Elaine and engineered her death with his wife's clothes. Even Jay also made an automatic throwing machine so that Elaine as if death is pushed by someone, and made an alibi of himself being somewhere else when the incident took place.
你有什么优势？
After the incident, Kiki was finally arrested and entered into a mental hospital. Jay is free from all demands and live freely with his son. And the story ends. Okay, that's the story of the movie Deception of the Novelist. Don't forget to like and share. Subscribe also if you haven't. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.